What is going on, everybody? I hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. Today's video is comparing Battlefront 2015 and Battlefront 2017, or Battlefront 2. Really, I just thought it would be really fun to make this video because I've actually been playing quite a bit of Battlefront 1 lately. Of course, I got some Battlefront 1 gameplay going on over this because we're going to start off with Battlefront 1 and the pros and cons of this game, and then we'll go to Battlefront 2 and the pros and cons and compare them and see which one comes out on top. This is actually a very difficult decision for me. I'm a little partial to Battlefront 1 because of the nostalgia of playing it. It was definitely in my top 3 favorite games ever. It was the first video game I ever played on Xbox. Pretty much the first video game I played, period, besides Mario Kart. Mario Kart's the GOAT, not gonna lie. Yeah, we're gonna start off with Battlefront 1, so let's get to it. First, we're gonna start off with the pros of Battlefront 2015. One thing I love about this game is the amount of... This game has a lot of maps and quite a bit of game modes, actually. I loved... My favorite game mode was Hero Hunt. I'm really sad that's not in Battlefront 2. I spent so much time playing Hero Hunt. I thought it was a super awesome game mode. For those who don't know, you would have one hero and then, like, 10 enemies trying to hunt him down, and the person who did the most damage to that hero would get the hero next, and it was whoever got to 50 kills first or had the most kills when time ran out. And I just loved that game mode so freaking much, and I was really sad to see that it did not transfer over to Battlefront 2. I love the variety in this game. There's so much variety. There are so many blasters to pick from and choose, because it was not a class system, so you could use, like, literally, there are like 30 blasters you can use in this game at any time, if you unlock them, of course. And I really loved that. A lot of those blasters were kind of left in Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 did not transfer them all over, which makes me really sad. A lot of those weapons are kind of left in the dust. For instance, the EE3 and the EE4. Of course, you have the EE3 as far as Boba Fett, but that's the only way you can use it. Just so many weapons that were kind of left behind. Also, a ton of maps. I loved the DLCs in this game, especially the Bespin DLC. I'm really sad that Battlefront 2 did not transfer over so many of these maps. We only have one Bespin map. Makes me really sad. We only have 2 Tatooine maps. It's just, there were so many Tatooine maps, so many Bespin maps, so many Sullust maps. There is not a single Sullust map in Battlefront 2. That makes me really sad. And I really loved these maps. They were so well designed. I love playing on them. Still love playing on them, as, like I said, I've been playing Battlefront 2015 a lot. At least on console for Xbox and really on PS4. And I play on Xbox, but I know it's even better on PS4. You can still get in games on DLCs and stuff like that. We had the Death Star DLC. I love that DLC. None of those maps are in Battlefront 2. Of course, in that DLC, you could destroy Star Destroyers. You could destroy the Death Star by going in the trench run. I mean, that trench run is so amazing and so immersive. Just a super awesome experience playing that. Really sad that's also not in Battlefront 2. I really wish Battlefront 2 would have done a better job of transferring these maps and modes and stuff like that into Battlefront 2 and then just adding on. I think that would have made it an even better game. Also, the Scarif Dlc. I love the Scarif Dlc. We only have one Scarif map in Battlefront 2. On that Scarif Dlc, there are so many different maps. It's absolutely beautiful, as is the Battlefront 2 map as well, but it's just in Battlefront 1 they had a lot more Scarif maps. Whenever I hear that Scarif music, man, loading into Scarif on Battlefront 2, I get that nostalgia from playing Scarif on Battlefront 1. It had an awesome mode. I forget the name of it, but it was a three-phase one where you had to get through the shield as a U-wing. It would select a person to be U-wing, and you had to protect that U-wing and get through the shield, and then you had to blow up one of the cargo ships and then steal the plans and get off the planet. I absolutely loved that mode. I played it all the time. There are a lot of heroes in Battlefront 1 that I love. that are not in Battlefront 2. For instance, Nyan Num, Dengar, Greedo, Director Krennic, Jyn Erso. I'm really sad we never got to see any of those in Battlefront 2. Who else? I'm trying to think. I know there are more that I'm blanking on. Bosk and Chewbacca are, of course, in Battlefront 2. Yeah. But just, I really love the heroes on this game. I'm trying to think. I know I'm missing someone, but I can't think of them right now. Lando's in Battlefront 2 as well. Yeah, I think I got everyone. I'm probably missing someone, and someone's gonna let me know, but whatever. There are so many pros to this game. Mainly for me, what does it is the maps, the amount of variety with the maps and the blasters. Whenever I load this game up, like it's a certain feeling. I can't really understand it, but it's a feeling I never really get from any other game, and I don't really know why that is. But yeah, it had so many fun game modes that never really made it to Battlefront 2. It just has a ton of variety, and also it has some cool offline modes you can play with friends. I love like the Ewok, or not the Ewok, but the speeder bike mission is so fun to play with my friends. I still play it, still play against friends and stuff. And another thing, this is a big thing, private matches. You can set up private matches in Battlefront 1 with your friends, and that's something that never made it to Battlefront 2 for some reason, but it was so fun setting up private matches and dueling your friends and stuff like that. It's super fun, and I miss that. Really wish, I don't know why they never did that in Battlefront 2, but oh well. Now let's go through the cons of this game. There are quite a few cons to this game I don't really care for. See, in Battlefront 1, in order to become a hero, you have to find a hero pickup. So really, becoming a hero was random. Like, it wasn't like if you did well, you got the hero, like in Battlefront 2. It was just random. So the biggest noob could get a hero, and, it didn't really matter. I definitely like the Battlefront 2 system a lot more with battle points. There are no enforcers or anything like that in Battlefront 1. In Battlefront 1, you're either going to be an infantry, like a normal infantry, fighter, or a hero. That's really the only options. Battlefront 2 definitely did a much better job as far as their system with battle points and stuff like that. The other con to this game is you die extremely quickly. You die, excuse me, you die so fast in this game. I definitely like in Battlefront 2 how it actually takes quite a bit to kill you. Like, you're not going to turn a corner and instantly die. I mean, sometimes you will, but a guy can't just one-shot you with one burst of an E3, That's another con to this game. You're definitely going to be dying a lot in this game. That's why having a positive KD in Battlefront 1 is impressive. If you don't have a positive KD in Battlefront 2, then you're pretty bad. And that's a big difference in this game. Of course, another con, Battlefront 1 is only the original trilogy. There is no prequel or sequel content. Of course, when this game came out, there were no sequels. I think maybe The Force Awakens had just came out, but I think it still came out a couple months after this game did. That's another con to this game. So there's not very much variety as far as there's no prequel content and no sequel content. For Walker Assault, which is kind of like the Galactic Assault of this, not as many maps for that, but overall this game does have a ton of maps because HVV. I'm not really sure. The HVV system in Battlefront 1 is a lot different than the HVV system in Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 is probably a better system, but I honestly thought the Battlefront 1 system was fine as well. I like both. A cool feature in this is another pro, I'm kind of skipping around, but another pro in Battlefront 1 is if Emperor Palpatine spawns in, or Leia spawns in, or Director Krennic spawns in, you can spawn in as a Death Trooper for Director Krennic, or a Royal Guard for Emperor Palpatine, or an Honor Guard for Leia. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really cool concept. Another thing is a kind of, it can be a pro or a con, but heroes in Battlefront 1 are OP. Like Luke's abilities, his lightsaber one hits, his force push one hits, his rush one hits, like everything one hits pretty much for heroes. So they mess up infantry quick. Now it's kind of balanced out by the fact that they do not regen, so they have a ton of health, but they don't regen. In HVV and Hero Hunt, Leia can heal, and Emperor Palpatine can heal. But Bosk is super OP in this game because he can regen, and no one else can do that. He gets health on kill, which makes him kind of OP. So that can be a pro or a con. It's really up to you. Another thing about this game is the DLCs. You have to pay for the DLCs. Now, they're really cheap nowadays, but used to that was not the case. So I know a lot of people didn't appreciate that. In Battlefront 2, you don't have to pay for any game modes or anything like that. They definitely did a better job in that area. So that's another con. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of stuff that's bad in this game. I can't really think of anything else. Another pro in this game in Battlefront 2015 is there are so many skins. There are like literally like 58 skins for the Rebel side and like 30 something skins for the Imperial side. We don't really get that in Battlefront 2. In Battlefront 2, you have like 3 skins as the Empire, you know, which is kind of unfortunate. There were so many super cool skins in Battlefront 1 that we did not get in Battlefront 2015. For instance, you know, the Shadow Trooper, the Shock Trooper, so many, you know, Stormtrooper Captain, all that kind of stuff, which was really cool, which unfortunately we did not see in Battlefront 2. But yeah, that's really all I have to say for this game. I mean, it was a super fun game. Definitely another con is the lightsaber combat in this game is not near as good as it is in Battlefront 2. Lightsaber combat is way more janky, just not as smooth at all. So Battlefront 2 definitely did a better job with that. It is an older game. It's to be expected, but overall, this is a fantastic game. I love playing this game. Super fun. I always have an amazing time playing it. And yeah, those are the pros and cons of Battlefront 1. Now let's go through Battlefront 2, and then we'll determine which game is better. The pros of Battlefront 2. Variety out the roof. There's prequel content, there's sequel content, there's original trilogy content, Rogue One content, solo content. You know, it's just everything from every movie is in this game. Way more heroes in this game than there are in Battlefront 1. Even though they left behind some heroes from Battlefront 1, they added so many. You know, Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Dooku, Kylo Ren, Rey, BB-8, BB-9E. You know, the list goes on. Iden Versio, you know, all these super cool, Anakin, you know, all these Grievous. There's just so many. Definitely something, and that was not the case at the launch of this game. The launch of Battlefront 2 kind of sucked, but they updated the crap out of it, gave us so much new content. So Battlefront 2 definitely does a better job as far as there's sequel, prequel, original trilogy content, you know, prequel heroes, sequel heroes, way more heroes in this game. Heroes, I like how heroes are in Battlefront 2 more than they are in Battlefront 1. Of course, heroes in this game, they have less health than they do in Battlefront 1, but they can regen, and that makes a big difference. They're definitely more balanced in this game. Heroes are way more balanced in Battlefront 2 than they are in Battlefront 1. There are very few abilities that one hit, which is good. They can mess up infantry, but not as much as heroes mess up infantry in Battlefront 1. What else? They did a much better job as far as their aerial class, you know, enforcer class. You can just play as much more stuff in Battlefront 2. They have the class system of assault, heavy, specialist, and officer, which I think is cool. I kind of miss being able to have a jetpack, you know, all the time in Battlefront 1, but I don't think that's really too much of a big deal. It's really just personal preference. I don't think it makes the game any better or worse. So Battlefront 2 definitely does a better job as far as being able to play it as so many different people. Another plus to this game, the maps are absolutely beautiful. This game is such a beautiful game, as is Battlefront 1. Both games have a ton of maps. Battlefront 1 just has a ton of original trilogy maps, and then Battlefront 2 has a ton of maps because they have maps for the sequel trilogy and the prequel and the, original trilogy. So I think it's kind of a tie as far as how many maps there are, but Battlefront 1 does not have prequel or sequel trilogy maps because it's just original trilogy. So it's hard to judge how good the game is on that because there isn't any of that in Battlefront 1, but Battlefront 2 definitely has just so much variety. What else? This game's combat system, the combat system's way better than it is in Battlefront 1. You're not going to die instantly like you are going to in Battlefront 1. I really like that. The game is just much smoother and not as janky as Battlefront 1 is. Lightsaber Combat is very good. I like the Lightsaber Combat in Battlefront 2 way more than Battlefront 1. You can really make for some epic duels. I like how heroes can kind of do their dash, and stuff like that. Something you cannot do in Battlefront 1. What else? This game... both games have quite a few game modes. Battlefront 2 has a ton of game modes. The HVV system is different. I don't really prefer the HVV system in Battlefront 1 to the HVV system in Battlefront 2. I think it's really personal preference. I don't think it's, I don't hate one and love the other. What else? There aren't a ton of cons to Battlefront 2, in all honesty. It's a fantastic game. Overall, I'll go through the cons if I can think any. I'm really trying to think of any cons. Of course, it's unfortunate they did not transfer all the maps from Battlefront 1 to Battlefront 2. I miss Hero Hunt and a lot of those game modes. I wish they would have brought those back. That's really it as far as Battlefront 2. Fantastic game. Battlefront 1 is a fantastic game. I think from an objective standpoint, Battlefront 2 would be the better game overall. It's just the combat system. It's a better made game. I love Battlefront 1 though. Probably my top games would go Battlefront 2 at number 1 and then Battlefront 2015 at number 2. I'm not gonna lie. They're both fantastic games. If you haven't played Battlefront 2015, definitely go play it. It's super fun. It's just very much a different game. It's not like Battlefront 2. That's really the biggest difference. They're two very different games, and which is interesting because they're both Battlefront games, but they are very different. And that's really concludes it. Both games are fantastic. DICE has done a fantastic job of updating the crap out of Battlefront 2 and giving us so much more content. I look forward to the future of Star Wars games. I'm really excited about that. And that concludes today's video. Overall, Battlefront 2, from an objective standpoint, probably a better game. But I love both of them so much. Have played so much Battlefront 2 and so much Battlefront 1. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.